Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Public L 10, Tango India Mike. Palm Springs altimeter is 2985 radar contact, about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, so you're requesting straight in for 13.
That's a bit, yes.
Ever correction, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Springs clearance, plus 4658 is type PC12 time cloud request clearance to Vegas S filed.
This 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S-file, I'll be full roost demo. Pilotus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas Airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join a Cresso 311. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7. Squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3. Initially climb 7,000, expected for 0 after 5, departure 167, plus 6316 plus 4658.
Plus 4658, 3 back is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to ramp via Aquila and this frequency.
Taxi to the ramp, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26, left, port base.
Enter left downwind 26 left and record your base 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base short.
United 242, Jawin Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170, headwind 3.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Pablo Tower, Kilo ILS 24.
King 520 Yankee Kilo Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1 knot. Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ramp plus 4658 is traffic to weather for taxi.
Pilotus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi to Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 4658.
Riverside Tower, good morning. November 290 Alpha with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 cleared low approach, report missed.
November 290 Alpha, cleared low approach, runway 9. Next report is missing.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go to right at Bravo.
And what's the radio area check?
Pilotus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to right plus 465.
Pablo Tower, Kilo
Near 0 Yankee Kilo, Archer taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha.
Pilotus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clear the active taxi to the GA parking base.
Number 7 Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
Number 290 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed.
November 290 Alpha going missing.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying at published mid-approach procedure. November 290
Hyper 2903 Alpha, contact
Hey
SoCal
guys, welcome back.
Yeah.
Just a
Number
short
03
break,
Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.9.
which is always important, just to stay calm and focused, because we're gonna do another flight. We're gonna hop over to, let me see, to Shirako Summit, Lima 77, from 29 Palms, so that's a short hop, but a nice one. And again, for those who are just catching on the UncertifiedPilot.com, my blog, I made myself a long time ago a curriculum and kind of a planning of training flights so that I could prepare myself for doing the CAT ratings. Well, obviously, after episode 61, I've already had some flight experience. but these videos here are quite outdated, and I thought, well, perhaps it's nice also as part of dusting off my flight scales to redo those training flights. And so what we just did in the previous episode was doing the traffic patterns at an untowered or uncontrolled airport, a day and at night. And what I'd like to do today is to make a daytime short flight to Lima 77. Also part as a video container. Hey Paulio, welcome on the stream. So a very simple short flight, and if we have some time left when we reach Shirako, I would also like to make a nighttime short range flight, but then from Lima 77 to Brawley, tucked in between all kinds of MOAs, which perhaps is going to be interesting. But I don't like to hurry up or rush through these training flights, so we'll just have to see. I need to quit streaming around 5. That's 5 o'clock here, Amsterdam time. So that's in an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see how far we can come. This is a very short flight, I think, to Lima 77. Also, as you can see here, looking at the chart, VMC all around, which is quite usual for this area. So I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on our weather briefing. Let's just have a quick look. Today's forecast. Yeah, ForeFlight has trouble getting that data. Was also with the previous stream. Don't know what's going on there. It does load on that side. Well, I don't know. So you can see high fronts, high pressure fronts, so that's always a good thing. Cold front, but also here higher pressure areas. And in the area that we are currently at, there is no indication of bad weather. Also in terms of precipitation, none. If we look at the significant weather chart, you can see it on the right side. That's 1800 Zulu. We're currently at 1400 Zulu. Then there seems to be some marginal VMC weather hanging or kind of like touching on land there. And compared to the 06 Zulu chart, you can see that weather is already developing during the day, which makes sense. But nothing that concerns our really short flight here. Also in terms of air mats, there's not a lot going on. We do see here, this is issued at 10:36 Zulu, and it's valid until 09. This was also Friday. That's weird. I don't get that. I would expect that the valid time would exceed the issued time, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, if I look at this particular chart, you can see clouds and fog, BR stands for fog, around the coast of the west coast of the United States, of the US here, all the way up to the north. And that might also cover our airspace here at 29 Palms. And that might confirm the stuff that we saw earlier here on the stream, where we also saw some fog coming in and some bad visibility. So that might explain what is going on here. Hey, the pilot Tyler, good to see you, and Draconian, welcome to see you here. Good to see you here on the stream. You're from the Netherlands, correct? Yeah, that's true. Yep, from the Netherlands. All right. Up over here, this is a later chart. This is 1200 Zulu. Again, you can see that fog stuff here to the left. No convective, so no thunderstorms. Ceilings, we can expect ceilings around, well, 6,000, perhaps 3,000. So that's also good. Still indicates VMC. And the same goes for, this is 10600 Zulu, and this is 10900 Zulu. So these are already outdated charts, but still they can give an indication of how the weather is developing. Radar here, or satellite imagery, well, no thick clouds. As you can see, this one is much more informative, I think, where you can see the thickness of the clouds. Again, the stuff is really up north, related to that cold front that we just saw in the first chart. So that makes sense, but nothing that concerns our really, really short flight today. Visibility-wise, it's okay. Here we can see more visibility. Yeah, so visibility is worsening actually while the day progresses. Again, confirms what we saw in the previous stream just an hour ago when that visibility is suddenly worsened. So around 6 miles of visibility. Okay, well, if we're gonna go VFR from that one airport to the next, from 29 Palms to Shirako, then obviously we need to rely on visibility, because most of the time we are just referencing based on visual cues, right? Highways, mountains. So we need visibility to make that flight. So I think we can, especially for such a short flight, but let's make sure. So also when we depart, let's review while we are in the air, and if visibility is too bad, then we need to pick another airport to fly towards. Wind speeds, very light, as you can see, at 3,000. At 6,000, more strong, but we're not going to fly that much high up. So that's okay as well. No turbulence, and no icing as well. Freezing levels are at the 13,000s. That doesn't concern us as a Skyhawk in any way. I do include this chart because I just like to incorporate it as part of a complete weather briefing. Okay, any other chart? No, that's it. So in terms of weather, we're just fine. And again, this is a very short range flight, so I guess it's much more effective just to look at the METAR surrounding this area. So for example, thermal here, just to see what the METAR is saying. Winds are calm, 330, 5 knots. And also can look at the forecast here, which is continuously VMC green, so that's good. But still, I like these weather charts and just have a more general idea of what the weather is doing. Okay, so very basic. Well, looking at our route from 29 Palms here to Lima 77, I think we just again depart from 08 because that favors the winds. Let me just hop into the cockpit so we can have a look at the windsock. Yeah, it's over there. We see kind of a strong wind there, but it's coming from the west, going to the east, so that favors runway 08. No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It doesn't at all. If the windsock is there, then the wind is coming from that direction. We should actually depart from the other runway around. I made that mistake in the previous stream. Right, so we actually should depart from runway 26. That's a mistake. Good, I caught that. Runway 26 it's going to be. So we're going to go to the left here and then depart. Stupid mistake. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so then we're going to depart. So it's going to be a left downwind departure. And then we need to go down south. Now, what I would suggest is to use the VOR here, the 29 Palms VOR. There are not really that much of a visual clear cues that we can use to just use PilotEdge and get to Shirako. So what we could do is left-hand departure. Oh, I would like to pick up that line. Yeah, and just go to the VOR. Or perhaps that's a little bit. That's perhaps a little bit too much. What we could also do is just fly like in this direction and track. Oh. Boom. And track the 161, so 160 radial outbound of 29 Palms, and that would lead us to Shirako, also over some mountains I see, at 5,000 feet, so that might not be ideal. So it might be better, also then we have a much more clear reference point to go over to this direction, so we can overfly that mountainous terrain. Now it's better to get this one, because we have that visual reference point. Let me see. Click. We can follow this highway, this road, which we can then spot if the weather allows. So we were tracking a radial, outbound radial, plus we can notice that that road here that we can follow, and we stay clear of that mountain, and then fly into Shirako. Makes sense. Any other airspace that we need to be aware of? Well, we see Victor Airways, so we might expect some aircraft flying on those airways while we are getting near to Lima 77. But no other dangerous stuff as I can see. No MOAs, no MTRs. Well, there is an MTR, but it's really tucked away. It's hard to see here. But you can see here VR1257 over here goes all the way down to the southeast. And then here makes a bend and goes to the west again. But it might interfere with our arrival route here. So when we are nearing Shirako, we need to be very aware that there's not any military air traffic activity over this site, right? So that's something that we need to be aware of. Otherwise, in terms of deviations, in case of an engine out, well, we don't have much to choose from other than our destination airport or returning to 29 Palms. So also in comparison to not the previous flight, but the flight before that when we went from Palm Springs to 29 Palms, I need to gain some altitude so that in case we've got an engine out, we can glide. Now, I don't know, this is a 50 nautical mile. Yeah, so if we are a bit high up, we allow ourselves some room to glide back to any airport. I would say Shirako or Julian Hines here, or back to 29. So altitude is good. So what altitude we're going to pick? Well, if you look at MSL, we've got obviously terrain here, so we need to stay clear around 1,000 feet, even 2,000 feet above the terrain. So I would say 6,000 would be a good altitude. Now we're going to fly, well, I would say a little bit more to the east, right? So we need to pick uneven altitudes, easterly VFR altitudes. So that would mean 5,500. That might be a good altitude. Around 1,000, yeah. And also because the terrain also increases, as you can see. I mean, that's again a rule that I should remind myself more of. That easterly westerly VFR altitude kind of rule only applies when you're flying 3,000 feet above AGL, above terrain. And so if we just fly at 3,000 feet AGL or lower, we're just fine. And that's a great altitude either way. So I think that's a better rule in this case, just to keep visual reference with the ground and stay above, let's say, 3,000 feet above that terrain. Or 2,000, that would be okay as well. So we just follow the terrain contours all the way down to Shirako while flying that outbound radial. Seems okay, I think. Okay, any other airspace? Thank you, PilotEdge. Thank you for following. Thanks, welcome on the stream. No, that's about it, I think. In terms of fuel, we don't have that much fuel, but let's see what ForeFlight calculates for us. It's 11 gallons. Well, that's the entire flight, obviously. So I would say we can cut that in half for our first arrival here at Shirako. So that would be around, well, 5 gallons or so. Well, that's plenty. We have that amount of fuel on board. Also then, it's important to see whether we can actually refuel at Shirako. Let me see, because if not, then we are stuck there. Flight service, fuel, none. Ha! Yeah, so we need to refuel over here. So that's what we're going to do right now. Refuel here at 29 Palms, so we can then continue our flight from Shirako over to our next destination airport if we have the time. Okay. Let me see. Anything else that we need to consider here? No, I don't think so. Let's just refuel first. Flight. Weight and balance. Total fuel. Whoop. Something like this would be fine. Click. Apply. Done. Okay. And frequencies and stuff we're going to set very, very soon once the engine is on. Okay, awesome. So here we are, again at 29 Palms, suffering from some texture glitches here. So yeah, that's just how it is. So we're going to taxi out of here, and you might see some weird taxiways just floating above us. What we're going to do is we're going to taxi to that direction, because 26, runway 26 is going to go right that direction. So we're going to taxi over the runway, backtrack, and then do our departure. That's what we're going to do. Also, we've got winds, so we need to do some crosswind correction or significant winds, so we need to do some crosswind correction, and that's about it. So let's fasten our seatbelts. Boom. Well, cold and dark check. So parking brakes are set. Live vest, we pretended that we have those, and a fire extinguisher. Doors are closed, windows are closed. ELT is set to auto. Cabin air is all set. Flaps are up, and they are up. Levers are still in sync. Very good. Trim as well. Set to takeoff. Fuel tank set to both. Cut off. Everything is just okay. Okay. And this is going to set soon. Circuit breakers all in. And again, our switches. These are all in sync as well. Awesome. Batteries on. You can see much more fuel now in the tanks. That's good. Let's check our avionics here. Looks good. Mode C1200 is already on. Well, that's okay. COM1 is good. A non-shader panel works. Everything is in sync. Okay, then avionics off. We can prime the engine. 1, 2, and I think that's enough because the engine was already used not long ago. Alright, throttle a bit in. Again, parking brakes are set, fuel tank set to both. Everything's okay, avionics are off. No one is walking around. Good, clear prop. Mixture full in. Ignition switch back to off. 1200. Oil pressure's in the green. Let's lean for ground. Reset for 1000. Alternator on. Avionics on. 1200 is all set still. Frequencies. Frequencies. So first, what we're going to set is the VOR of 29 palms. 114.2. 114.2. That's set. And what a kind of a radial are we going? Yeah, 160 outbound. So let's set that as well. .160. Cool. Nothing else. No frequencies. 1 to 2.8 is the COM that's set, and of the frequency of Shirako is 1 to 2.9. Awesome. Anything else that we need? We can listen to ATIS here to have a better idea of what the winds and stuff are doing. Let's just do that. ATIS is weird. 256.35. Oh, that's a military ATIS frequency that we cannot pick up on. Okay, we'll just rely on our ForeFlight weather information. Okay, set. We're ready to go. So just to rehearse what we're going to do. Again, we're going to taxi over to that side, 26. We're going to depart, left-hand downwind, and we're going to track that radial 160 outbound from 29 palms. We're going to fly 2,000, 3,000 feet AGL, follow the terrain. Also make sure that visibility is okay, but it seems to be doing fine, I think. And head over to the Shirako. Simple. Cool. Engine is already warm. Parking brakes released. Brakes work. Let's taxi here to the left in front of this lovely Cessna. November 172 Sierra Papa. Come on, you can do it. Turning, heading indicator, slip indicator. All works. Turn indicator. Attitude indicator is stable. Watch out for that. Good. Okay. .29 palms traffic. Yellow Skylane is backtracking runway 26 for a left downwind departure. 29 palms. Again. Whoa. There we go. Oh, we don't need to backtrack. At 29 palms traffic, yellow Skyhawk, disregard that last transmission. We're just taxiing back to runway 26 via the taxiway at 29 palms. I thought there wasn't any taxiway here. My mistake. Okay, engine is still looking good. Again, you can see the glitches of the textures here, guys. MiniWebs is so kind to help me out to figure what is going on here. What's going wrong here with those textures. Whoop, and there we are on the terrain again. Now it seems to be okay, but weird. Man, that was a stupid mistake in the last stream. I picked the wrong end of the runway to depart from. Obviously the sock points to where the wind is going towards. I'm also not using crosswind correction here by taxiing, by the way. Again, guys, that's the part of dusting off your flight skills. So the wind is coming from that direction, right? Along with the windsock. Cool. Engine is warm. Mixture full in. Power check. 1800 RPM. No enunciated messages. Oil pressure is good. Left. Good enough drop. Back to both. Right. Good enough drop. Back to both. Let's check for the landing lights. Good small drop there on the M meter. All the way back to idle. No enunciated messages. Oil pressure still in the green. Good. Back to 1000. We're ready to go. Let's just make a turn here. Okay, I would like to see no one here in the traffic pattern. No one inside as far as I can see. Good. 29 palms traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is departing runway 26 for a left downwind departure to the east. 29 palms. Landing lights on. Strobe lights on. Mixture's full in. Trim is all set. Fuel tanks are set. That's 26 confirmed. Also confirms our heading indicator. There we go. Full power, a little bit of right rudder. Airspeed's alive, engine is in the green. Goodbye, 29 palms. And 60, nose up. Nice, there we go. Goodbye, weird texture glitches. Not too much of a nose up attitudes. Keep my speed at around 80. Again, traffic pattern altitude is at 2,900. So at 2,600 we're going to start our crosswind turn. Don't see any other traffic here around. Nose down a bit. Good. And we'll just keep climbing. It's 26. No one on that side. 29 palms traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is turning left crosswind, runway 26 for a eastbound departure. 29 palms. Keep that climb going, and I will just keep on turning to downwind. Because terrain. Keep that turn going, Tim. Keep that turn going. 29 palms traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now on the left downwind runway 26. Departure eastbound. 29 palms. There's the airport. Good. Airspeed is nice. And let's just continue our climb. Beautiful day to fly. Good visibility. There we go. Off to 29 palms VOR. I'm going to track that 160 radial. Obviously we could also use the GPS, but I rather like to do it the old-fashioned way. And again, wonderful photoreal scenery here in X-Plane. Keep my landing lights on for a bit because we're still in the traffic pattern area. Look how nice that airport fits in with the photoreal. Gorgeous. Again, we're still connected, right, with PilotEdge? Let me just check. Yes, we are. Rocky, is it X-Plane? Yeah, this is X-Plane. X-Plane 11. With a lot of add-ons. If you're interested in that, visit UncertifiedPilot.com, my blog, and go to my PC setup. You can also find it here on the Twitch page. You can see what I'm using. No, this is about right as an altitude. So love to see some textures here. 4000, good. Let's trim down, allow that airspeed to increase a bit. Reset it to 2300, something like that. And also let's lean a bit. EGT, there it goes. 29 palms traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is departing the traffic area to the east, currently at 4,000 feet in level. 29 palms. Good. There we are. Mimap, still I'm curious to know why you used G2XPL instead of Ortho. Well, I just used G2XPL because at the time it was recommended to me. And so I downloaded the entire scenery pack and that was just that. So it was not really a conscious decision whether I used G2XPL or Ortho. There we are, guys. The Pop Hotel Tango mic. New livery. My entire project is colored in yellow, so my airplane should also be yellow. Inspired by an AOPA, actual real-world AOPA livery. I love it. Everything looks good. We're descending a bit, but that's just fine. We're VFR. Tracking that, or looking at this nav1 to see whether the needle goes in. So we can track that 160 radial. Gorgeous. So pretty. And that's also what I really like about this photo reel, is that now for the first time I'm actually curious to look outside and go to places, because I know that what I'm seeing outside is actually the real thing, rather than some generically procedurally generated Orbix kind of scenery. And still also Orbix does take into account shorelines and cities and stuff, but still they reuse textures, and now you see the actual thing. It's like flying above Google Earth. So for example, all kinds of natural phenomenon, I don't know how you call this in English, but these are riverbeds, I think, that are dried up. Well, that's very interesting and very pretty to see. Not all Orbix scenery shows that. So that's very cool, I think. Wonderful flying weather. What's going on over here? no idea. Oh, I just missed my radial here. Just flipped all over. Okay. So that means that we can fly just in between these mountains. Sure, no other traffic is on this side. Seems to be clear. Also keep my nose up, Tim, and stay coordinated. Somehow I totally forgot to incorporate making coordinated turns as part of my routines. Also, I like to climb a bit because it's nice to be that low, but again, if we got an engine out, we don't have that much gliding distance. And although I trust my yellow Papa Hotel Tango Mike Cessna 172, it's better to be at the safe side. So, oh. More power. Tim's air taxi livery, head rock. Also reminds me of the yellow Piper Cub. Yeah, it's pretty. Love it. Ah, there's the needle. Needle is active, so let's see if we can catch it. Just allow it to creep in. Again, 160 is what we set it for. And that gives us a great track here to Shirako. Also change our frequencies to the CDAF of Shirako. Wow, how pretty, man. This is so nice. There it is. The needle, I mean. So, shallowing my turn to a heading of 160. And also, as part of this short flight, I should have used my clock. Believe it or not. Which I didn't. And I said I would. Well, there's something interesting going on, I see. I was wondering why my needle didn't creep in that quick. And now it's actually going away from us while we were still flying like 170. So then I looked at my compass, my magnetic compass, and compared it to my heading indicator that I was using. And you can see it's off. So I'm now flying south, but that's not what the magnetic compass indicates. So that means gyro drift. So we need to reset to 165. Something like this. So that means we need to fly a little bit more to the right to allow that needle to creep in. Yeah, Minimaps, you're right. It would be cool to have Orbix quality kind of airports in X-Plane, but still, I also love just the custom airports that are made by just users like us. I don't really see that much difference. Very nice airport packages available. Engine is still okay, at least stock-wise. As you can see, the temperature is quite high, which to me would suggest that something might be wrong, but I've seen this in previous flights as well with the stock Cessna 172, so it's just a bug or an unrealistic feature. On the needle right now. There we go. How pretty. You see, this is also nice, right? So the strobe light, in real life, there's actually a plastic tube or glass tube here on the edge of the wing that reflects the strobe light and also the nav lights. I think the nav lights, perhaps also the strobe lights. I don't know. To the pilot, so you know that they are actually on. So you don't need to get out of the airplane to see. And that seems to be simulated here in X-Plane as well. Now, this is our radial. As you can see, we're headed right towards a mountain top, which doesn't seem to be handy. Let me see. Get nice altitude. I think that's this peak, 5350 peak, just in front of us. But our radial would have. Ah no, it's 174. How did I get to 160? Was that an earlier? Yeah, because this indeed, if I pick the 16, this 165 brings us right to the top. So I think I used the ruler with our previous route, and I just thought, oh, that's the one that we need to fly. So again, reviewing your flight plan before you take off is a good thing. So now with visibility, I noticed, but imagine in more marginal VMC conditions or even IMC, I would be flying this track believing that we were okay, but in fact we were not. So we need to stick to another radial, and that would be 174 outbound. You can also fly visually, obviously, but let's just mess with the VOR. Wow. You can see the winds that just shape these planes. Really beautiful. Okay, so the peak is up there, so we might be already quite near Shirako, so we can already do an announcement if we like. We're set the frequency is set 1 to 2.9er, and well, considering the winds at 29 palms, I would say, let me see, we could land 2.4 Shirako. A thing to do in the real world was just to overfly the airport, just to see whether there's other traffic there, or just wait and listen on the frequency, but I don't hear anyone. Because if there is already a particular airway or runway in use, then that's the one we're going to use as well, because otherwise we fly into one another in the traffic pattern. 1713 feet, so 2700 is going to be the traffic pattern altitude MSL. Yeah, I would prefer 2.4. Most of the time the winds are coming from that direction. What we could also do is just to overfly the airport and look at the wind bar and then determine what the active runway would be. That's fun. I never did that before. Let's do that. Just going to announce that we're going to overfly the airport. Shirako traffic, yellow Skyhawk, is around 8 miles north of the airport, currently at 5,700. We're inbound to overfly the airport and determine the active runway. It's Shirako. Ranger, X-Plane, correct? Yep, this is X-Plane 11. Flying the stock 172. But with photoreal scenery and xEnviro, HeadShake plugin, PilotEdge, and that's about it, I think. Yeah, Ranger, it's nice, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm completely sold. My computer now only runs X-Plane. I don't have Prepared installed anymore. Look at these trails, guys. Again, what I said before, you can just gaze at these landscapes, and because it's real. Those caverns or those river beds here are actually there in the real world. Again, engine is good. EGT is okay-ish. And I guess because we're much more high up, we could also lean a bit more aggressively. Yep, that's true. Also saves some fuel. And there we are. That's the valley in front of us where Shirako is located. And looking, this is the mountain top. Shirako would be just behind that, so I think that it's on the other side here at the bottom. Sniper, have you looked at Aerosimmer's update to the 172? Yeah, I did, and I did install it a while ago, but because I was messing with my X-Plane folders, I left it out, so I should. And it does fix a few unrealistic things of these stock 172, but not all. So I'm actually looking forward to a or hoping for a SimCoders 172 reality expansion pack. Ranger, thank you for following, man. Much appreciated. What a nice casual flight. So time-wise, how are we doing? Yeah, I only have 30 minutes left before I need to have dinner. Going to the cinema tonight. Look at this. Wow-wee. A pleasure to fly. Imagine doing this with the virtual reality goggles on, guys. Man, 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 man. Okay. Can we see Shirako? Not yet. Also like to stay on altitude, by the way. I'm just reduce my throttle, but let's just stick on altitude and overfly the field first. Now we're going to fly over to the east, so let's announce that as well. Shirako traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now at 5,000 feet. We're overfly the airport from the west to the east and determine the active runway. Shirako traffic. So looking at the map, Shirako should be just behind that mountain peak, as you can see. So I would expect it to be somewhere around here, but let me know, guys, if you see it. A bit of a nose up. Just over there, perhaps? On the other side? No. Don't think so. There's a highway here, which makes sense. I would expect to have seen the airport by now. But again, I often mistake distance looking at a map. So I think this is actually a quite small hop, but it is 5 nautical miles. I would say just 2 miles or so. So it could be that Shirako is still over on that side. Could be over here. And this is what I like of VFR flying. It's much more active to look for the airfield. It's much more old school. Where is it? A little bit more mixture rich. Just heard the engine have a little bit of trouble. again, where is the airport? I would have expected it to be here somewhere. I mean, 5 nautical miles we could see by here, I would say. Also, if you look at the, yeah, it's. I think it's behind us. Why? Because if you look at the map, you can see Julian Hinds is another airport, and there's a lake. Now, lakes are often dried out here in this area, so it seems bluish, but it isn't there actually. And guess what? That's that lake, and this is Julian Hinds. So that means that we can just do a 180 to spot Shirako. We missed it. Now let's make sure no one is flying behind us, or as far as I can see. No. Coordinated turn. Nose up a bit. Too much coordinated. Too much coordinated. Yeah. Alright. Look at this. Man. Oh. My yoke is a little bit sensitive. Oh. Kook. Shirako, guys. I didn't see it at all. Shirako traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now overflying the field at 4,500. We're going to enter the left downwind for runway 24 for a full stop. Shirako. Did I say 26 last time? I saw 24 depicted on the runway end, and I thought, 24. Alright, so we spotted the airport in clear sight. Man, I should review the video just to see what happened there. And again, guys, that's also, I think, an advantage of using photoreal scenery. At least in my experience, it becomes much harder to spot the airport because it's so nicely tucked in. Airport elevation was 1700, so 2700 is going to be our traffic pattern altitude. Now we're now on top of the airport, so what we can do is now fly to the left here. Badam bam bam badam. You can even see all the trails in the mountains. Wow. There we are. There's the runway. Also displaced ramp. You can see there should be a lot of more textures or objects there. 24. Shirako traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now on the left downwind 24. Full stop. Shirako. There's a power line here below me, so I need to be sure that I don't hit that one. The pilot Tyler, why not a teardrop entry? You're absolutely right. It could also be a great move here. So far so good. Landing lights on. Alright, kept them on. I didn't turn those off. Kept my landing lights on the entire way. Not a good thing. Here we are. Again, I would have loved to already set my flaps. Put your full in. Shirako traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now turning left base for a full stop landing runway 24. Shirako. Again, look at the cars here beneath us. Less power, less power, less power. Let's drop the airspeed. There's the runway. We're still too high up. There's some traffic there. That's the military air route that I was talking about, the MTR. One notch of flaps. But those guys are going to make a right turn soon. Alright, second notch of flaps in the white band. Good. Nose down trim. There we go. Chiriaco traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now on final runway 24, full stop, Chiriaco. What also amazes me, what strikes me when doing these relatively simple flights from one untowered airport to the next, is that they still involve the same navigational challenges. They can even become more dangerous or more risky, more complex than going from a towered airport to the next. So I should really try to seek out those challenges as well here on PilotEdge, even though I'm not making use of the controllers. Alright, there we go. Now we can land a little bit farther away on the runway because the ramp is on the far side here. Yeah, here's 2-4. You can see the photo real runway is not really consistent with the X-plane runway. Nevertheless, it works. Nose up trim. Nose up trim. Ah man, my wheels are lower than I thought. I thought I had some room to flare. Need to practice that. Flaps up, and let's just roll out. And what I also didn't do was what I intended to do, was to fly over the field to watch the windsock. Leaning my engine here. So yeah, my perspective memory skills are not on par. It was a nice flight though. I really love the scenery. But still, so got some wings there. You can see the windsock. So need to put in some right correction. There are some airplanes there, okay. Let's see where this leads us. Landing lights off, strobe lights off. Hey Dad, good to see you. Oh. And now the wind is coming from behind. Pushing forward on the yoke. Okay, this is an interesting turn. Feels like we're on a roller coaster here. Gliding to the ramp. The guys even put a toilet over there. Interesting. Let's keep to the left here, or to the right, I mean. And let's make a turn here. Boom. A little bit more right. Straight out, I mean. Yep, that's okay. Okie doke, there we are. Parking brakes set. Let's also turn off the transponder. Off. Good. So we're not transmitting on the transponder as soon as we turn the avionics on in the next flight. Avionics off. Cut off. Wait until the prop stops. Then the ignition switch to off. Batteries off. And we keep the beacon light on. And there we are at Chiriaco. Interesting. The pilot Tyler, nice one. Thank you for that landing compliment. Aren't you supposed to either enter on a 45 or do a teardrop? You're absolutely right, guys. Yeah, I just made myself easy just to immediately enter the downwind, especially because I didn't hear anyone in the traffic pattern. But still, I think the best entry for that turn, we can review that in just a sec, was to do the teardrop. I think that would be the best one, and I think I didn't. Again, to make my life a little bit easy, because there was no one on the in the pattern. But still, I think if I prepared my arrival, I mean, I did plan it by ForeFlight, but if I also rehearsed my arrival when I was at that peak in front of us, or before that, I would have considered how I would enter the traffic pattern. Which I didn't. So it's also laziness. And I should, again, it's almost like as a pilot you are flying, mentally flying in the future, right? You're constantly thinking ahead. At least that's what you're supposed to do. There's a weird light effects here in X-Plane now with the update. Quite sudden. I don't know if you guys noticed, but suddenly lights change in the cockpit. Okay, so that means we've done that, so I can disconnect from PilotEdge, but now we're going to review the flight, review the landing, and also the entire flight, just to see whatever. The Pilot Tyler, did you see ForeFlight announced yesterday we are getting JEP charts soon? Oh, really? That is cool. Well, I really love ForeFlight, so the more charts they can incorporate, the better. Shifts, what was it? Alt-R. Alt-R. Let's have a look. There we are. Yeah, so I would like to see the arrival here. First, I'd like to see where the airport is. So this is the airport, guys. So this is where we arrived and where I was searching for the airport. Well, here it is. Well, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, flight camera disable. There it was, just in front of me. And it's the same as in the real world, but I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. And I think it would also help if I noticed that the Shirako summit, the summit is over here, right? But all this yellowish kind of layers here suggests to me that that was still part of the big mountain. But that's still gradual descending kind of terrain. That's this part. So actually, Shirako as an airport is much more close to the highway than to the mountain. So if I just noticed that and thought, okay, I just need to search for the highway and follow the highway to spot an airport, then chances were that I would just easily spot it Shirako here, because I could just follow the highway, and there it was. But wow. I mean, again, guys, flying from non-towered airport to non-towered airport can be so educational, also so confronting. So I should do that more often. Hey, Miniwebs, welcome back. Anyway, shift 4. Oh, yeah. Close that door to make it look a little bit more realistic. Hello? Yeah. Shift 4. There we are. Control P. That's our flight. So there we go. So indeed, as you can see, what I did was I just fly this direction, and there I noticed the lake. Hello. The lake over there, the dry up lake, and that other, what was it called? Julian Hinds over there, that airport. And then I thought, hey, I'm too far, which was good that I noticed, but well, I should have found Shirako in the first place. Then I made that turn around 360 because I thought that Shirako was on this side of me, so I thought we'll just do a 360, and then I spotted the airport on this side. Yeah, not a good thing. So there I go. And I think what I should have done indeed was then when I overflown the airport over here, then made this turn a little bit quicker. Because what's dangerous in this for this maneuver? Let me see. I'd like to move quicker. Is that people could have already been flying. It could be the case that someone without a radio would be already flying left traffic patterns here on 2.4. And so in this case, I descend on top of the pattern. And I cannot see anyone below me or just behind me. And so it's much better then to use the teardrop entry. And I should have just flown midpoint here, just on the middle, on the top of the airport. Then made a 90-degree turn here and went this direction. And then made a right turn outside of the traffic pattern and to enter the 40-degree entry on the downwind, and then went this way. Because then I would be at the same traffic pattern altitude. I have full sight of the airport, I have full sight of the traffic pattern, and I could enter in a much more conscious, safe way, rather than descending on top of the traffic pattern. So yeah, this was not safe, and you guys are absolutely right. I should have used a proper procedure. Yeah, so here I made that turn and I discovered, hey, there's the airport. Yep. Control P away. Let's just enjoy the landing here. So there I went, downwind. Where am I? I'm over there. Yeah. Shift 4. I like these replays. Yeah. Again, guys, for those who are new, on the channel, here on the Certified Pilot, mostly serious flight simming, and what I mean about that is just flight training, serious flight training, showing off my vulnerability as a student pilot, virtual student pilot. So if you like that educational aspect, follow the channel, jump aboard and help me to improve my flying. That's very much appreciated. Okay, here we go. Let's see. A little bit crap to the right. There we go, 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 there we go. Nose up, nose up. Well, not bad. That wasn't bad. Again, not that on center line, but it was okay. Not that far out. Man, come on. Yeah. Crabbed, crabbed, crabbed. And I didn't correct for that crab. So now I touch down and I glide over to the right. Yeah. So I'm also not that aware of my crab position. My crabbed angle when I touch down. And so I lose track of the center line. Okay, I also like to see my departure. Oh, it recorded the entire flight. That's what happened. Okay. Let me see. There we are. Did that nice pirouette. That's the power check. Okay, so let's wait here. Hey Tris, good to see you. MiniWeb, is that the new mug I just saw? Yeah, that's the new mug. I ordered a mug from the AOPA site. I really love this mug. So, yeah. Again, doing the circle. To check where there's no one in the pattern. Let's also review my takeoff. And then we're going to sign off. Can you fly into a storm cloud, please, Tris? No, not with the Cessna Skyhawk. I'd rather avoid those. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Full power. There we go, there we go. Channel. Gorgeous. The Papa Hotel thing, really, Mike. Nothing wrong with that. Awesome. Control P. That one. Whoa. Oh yeah. It also recorded all my traffic patterns in the previous stream. All right. So it's this one that was part of this flight. And that seemed to be just fine, right? Let me just see. Was there anything that we can say about that? So these were the traffic patterns. Quite consistent, by the way. Should have reviewed that as part of the previous stream too. Quite consistent turns. Yeah, but in this case, this flight we made that turn here, that left downwind departure. Far away, by the way. Far away from the field. It's about here. Well, it's okay. And we kept on climbing up and went all the way and then catch the 160 radial and then yeah, behind the summit there, and then we went to Shirako. Interesting. Boom. Boom. Control beep, beep, and there we are with the toilet there. That's a nice ending picture, I think. Let me see. Yeah. So, guys, that's the end of today's stream. I really enjoyed this one. And again, flying from one untowered airport to the next is very educational. At least can be very confronting for me. I should do that more often. I hope you enjoyed. Perhaps tomorrow or Sunday I will fly again. Follow me on Twitter because that's where I announce my flights. And you can jump aboard and help me to improve my flying. So happy flights, blue skies, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye. Palm Springs Tower, Skylane, Hotel Tango, and your mic is 10 miles north of the airport at 3000. Information X-ray for a full stop. Landing 13 left if that's available.
Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes please.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, next straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land, wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 slam cloud request clearance to Vegas S5.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, I'll be forward step. Plus 4658 is cleared to Las Vegas Airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 311. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 and tap departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
S4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3, initially climb 7000, expected for 0 after 5, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, readback is correct. Tango to Mike, taxi to the RAM via Echo, remain this frequency.
Taxiing to the RAM via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, Roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26, left, report base.
And left downwind for 26 left and before you base 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right bridge start.
United 242, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170, 13.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Hotel Tower, Kilo IMS
Near 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11. Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land 7 Charlie Alpha, thank you.
Palm Springs run plus 4658 east ramp with the weather going for taxi.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning. The Fortuna of the Alpha with me on the island.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 clear low approach, report commence.
The Fortuna of the Alpha, low approach, runway 9. Next report is
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go to and right at Bravo.
The radio on radio check.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to and right plus 465.
Hotel Tower,
Near 0 Yankee Kilo, Archer taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
via Alpha, Kilo X.
Plus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha's clear the active taxi to the G8 parking, please.
We're set for Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency, taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
Number 2903 Alpha is going around.